Hey kids, welcome back to Library with Nick. It's Wednesday today, so that means I'm posting another video and another story. As you know, my last theme in library for the year is summer adventure, and we've read a couple different adventure stories so far. This week, we'll be reading Harriet Gets Carried Away by Jessie Sima. It's one of my favorite stories. I love it because it has beautiful pictures, a great story, and it really blends this imagination into it where you're not quite sure what's real and what's not. And I think that goes along perfectly with our theme for June, which is creativity. The author's creative, and our main character is too. So sit back and enjoy Harriet Gets Carried Away. But before we get started, let's do our normal library time routines. As always, 3 things that never change. Number 1, I like you just the way you are. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life, doesn't matter what's going on in mine. Number 2, I'm happy you're here today. I'm happy that we get to have this time together today and that you're tuning into my video. And number 3, my expectations. Since we're not on Zoom today, we don't have to go over all of our expectations, but I'll still say our first one, which is our most important. Please be kind and respectful to everyone around you. That includes people in your house, people you meet outside, and people online, which is especially important during this time when most of us are online every day. All right, let's go ahead and get to the story. Harriet Gets Carried Away by Jessie Sima. Harriet loved costumes. She didn't save them for Halloween or only wear them to dress up birthday parties. Harriet wore costumes all the time. On the morning of her own dress-up birthday party, Harriet was a busy bee. "We still need to pick up some snacks from the grocery store," said her dad. "And lots of party hats," added Harriet. Her dads shared a look. "Okay," they said, "but don't get carried away." Harriet was sure she could manage that. Now, when they say carried away in this story, what do you think they mean? Yeah, I think they're talking more about her imagination, right? So don't let your imagination carry you away. Don't get carried away by your brain, right? I don't think they mean physically carried away. She changed into her extra special errand running costume, straightened her bow tie, waddled down the street and through the subway, and into the store. Her dads seemed to have the deli counter covered, so Harriet set out on a quest for the perfect party hats. But instead she found something else. Now, would you say this story is fiction, made up, or nonfiction, a true story? Harriet could be a real person, right? Kids go on parties and live in cities and wear costumes. And penguins are real too. But look at this together. Would we ever find penguins in a grocery store? Harriet forgot all about the party hats. She waddled past the checkout lines, through the city, and out of town. "Where are we going?" Harriet asked excitedly. "Well, back home, of course," the penguin answered. "The city is a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there." As the balloons floated farther from the city, Harriet's thoughts floated back to her birthday party. "Well, excuse me," said Harriet. "I don't think I belong here." "Well, that's okay," the the penguins replied. Everyone feels like they don't fit in sometimes. Maybe you should lose the bow tie. But Harriet didn't care about fitting in. She cared about getting back to the store. So she straightened her bow tie and hatched a plan. I love how it shows her different plans. Oh, it melts. And another. Things were not going smoothly. Harriet was almost out of ideas when one emerged from the sea. Hey, said the orca, you're not a penguin. How did you know? Cried Harriet. Penguins don't wear bow ties, he replied. Harriet realized this orca just might be her ticket home. She told him all about her family and her city and the party hats she needed to find. And when her story was finished, she said, I could really use a lift. It just so happens I'm heading up north for a family reunion, replied the orca. I could drop you off along the way in exchange for a fancy red bow tie. This seemed like a fair trade. As the orca swam, Harriet daydreamed. Once Harriet could make out the city in the distance, the orca came to a halt. This is as far as I can go. So Harriet called in a favor from some friends she knew from the park. Woo, 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 we'll take it from here, they said. Look at that, flying with the pigeons. Harriet soared back into the store and headed straight for the party hats. It didn't take long to pick out the perfect ones. She found her dad's at the deli, just where she'd left them. And where did you sneak off to? They asked. I just went to get the party hats, said Harriet. Oh, and I could use a new bow tie. With hats in hand, Harriet waddled back through the subway, up the street, and into her room. She put on her birthday party costume, straightened her party hat, and headed up to the roof. The party was a great success, and no one got carried away. Well, except maybe Olivia. What story is that from? That's the end. I hope you enjoyed that story. I love how the author and the characters in the story use their imagination in such creative ways. All right, kids, it's been wonderful to see you today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.